I hope each and every one of you feels welcome. Listen, it is Destiny back in the house. Whew, this next topic is about astrology. Yeah, this is about astrology, zodiac signs. Listen, my entire life, I have never, ever, ever been into them. Every time somebody talks to me about them, I'm like, look, I don't even want to talk about that. I don't get into zodiac signs. I just don't. Never talked about them. Never was my thing. Just never have been. As I grew up and into life, I'm like, I never really paid attention to mine. Like, oh, okay, Capricorns are this, that, and the other. If you guys notice, I've been going hard on little reels and stuff, my little shorts with Capricorns topics. So it's just really interesting. I don't think it was until I started dating someone that was really into it. I'm like, oh Lord, you're one of those. So what I liked about it was it allowed me to slowly get to where I am today. I've never been like obsessed with it. I'm not like every Taurus, every Leo, everybody, everything. I ain't never been into it like that ever. I'm even not even today. Um, well, wait a minute. Yeah, no, I'm not. And I say I'm not into it like that. I'm not walking around trying to assess everybody, diagnose everybody. I'm in it a little bit deeper, but it's only based upon the people that's in my life. I care about what signs they are, and then just kind of see how closely related to things people say they are. That's it. So I'm not like everybody in the world I need to know, and people, they get into it, they do readings, and I ain't into that deep. But I am into when I meet a person or you're already in my life, what's your sign? And I want to see if you maneuver through your life in a manner in which it's said that a Taurus, a Leo, a Gemini, or whatever does. I'm into it that deep. But baby, listen, do you believe in the things about astrology that's out there? Whether it's something you read in one article or it's just like a known thing across the globe, everybody seems to say this one thing. Do you believe in it? Who drop down in the comments and share, please, family. Here's my take. Um, and it's an interesting take. I'm a Capricorn. If you haven't noticed by now, you know. I am a bona fide, true to the heart, hardcore Capricorn. I love my zodiac sign. I think out of all the ones that exist, baby, and I don't say it because I'm a Capricorn. If I were, and I know everybody who is a Capricorn, or whatever sign they are, always, baby, if I had the worst sign in the zodiac and people said what they said about us and it's pretty much true, I'll just be like, look, we got the crappiest one, y'all. Pipe down. We ain't about all that. That's not who we are. That's just me. I'm just honest and true about it. That's one of them Capricorn traits. We found the most honest people you'll ever meet. Is every Capricorn in the world truth? But no, that's not what we're saying. It's like the bulk, the majority of us. I pretty much head on, spot on what people's. I've never really heard so much about a zodiac sign that's accurate. The accuracy scares the hell out of me. I'm telling you, it's unbelievable. One, most of it relates to me, and then most Capricorns I know, and other Capricorns be like, yes, that's us. It's scary almost. Okay, let me just go through them real quick. The ones off the top of my head, of course, I don't have them written down anywhere. Honest. The Capricorns will lie like anybody else will lie. We are first some of the most honest people. Stubborn. I don't know how we got goat and not bull. I would think a bull is more stubborn than a goat. And maybe I don't know much about my animals, but baby, it is what it is. We are stubborn. We are it's like a bulldozer. Take your body, go in the field, find a bulldozer and try to move it. It ain't happening. We are just stubborn. I'm a mix. I am stubborn as crap. Ain't too much you can get me to change my mind on. If you can get me to change my mind on anything. Um, so that's that. We are honest, stubborn, loyalty to a fault. Like throw a brick at us and wake us up. Loyal. Oh, we loyal. I mean, and I'm not saying this about all almost 90 high percentile you can find it in the average Capricorn. Then you got some Capricorns I met too. And I'm like, baby, ain't nothing about you, our sign. You don't fit in the family. Like, they just, nothing about them is Capricorn. So you have some one-offs. You have some people like, baby, you ain't no Leo. Sweetheart, you are not a Taurus acting like that. So it's not everybody. But it's normally, generally true. Loyal, honest, stubborn, and here's the one I think most Capricorns is like, yes, that's us. We about our money. The reason I'm talking about, you're probably like, Destiny, what's the big deal? Capricorns aren't all that. That ain't even what I'm talking about. It's not a brag or boast video about my sign at all. I've gone all my life thinking a lot of things about me came from my mother. The other things, I just thought that's just who I am. It's my mind. I'm thinking the other things about me is the brain God gave me. This is how he made me. He made me strong and tough and stubborn and stand my ground and 10 toes down. And, you know, I don't need anybody to advise me on stuff because I already know. I just thought it was just who I was. The reason I'm going so hard on the Zodiac sign thing, y'all, is because it's taken me, and this is going to be deep, the past, I can't even say 10 years. I'm going to say the past 4 to 5 years. I have tapped in and tuned in to so many things like, what? I'm learning and I've learned a lot of stuff. I'm like, that ain't nothing to do with my mama. That ain't have nothing to do with my mom. I'm like, all my life I thought that was just me. Like, me? I just thought I just created this. I guess I thought I created my own image of destiny, right? But to learn that there are so many other people out in the universe like me because we're Capricorns, that it's a trait, that it's a Capricorn characteristic / trait that I am how I am. I'm baffled. I am baffled. I'm blown away to know that my zodiac sign is responsible for so many things about who I am. And I ain't gonna kid you, I thought at least a 90 high percentile was my mom. My mom. I'm like this because my mom. And don't get me wrong, a lot of things I got from my mom. Baby, Capricorn is why I am who I am. The intuition. They look like right here talking about women's intuition. Baby, nice Capricorn. Capricorn intuition is sick. It's sickening. It's literally weird to feel like you are a mind reader. And I did another little short video not long ago talking about, I felt like I was a witch when I was little. Why do I know things? Why can I had a magic potion over people. Why do I know they were going to say this and do that? And my intuition, I felt this and then it happened and I knew that and it happened. All my life, I thought it was a discernment from God. I thought it was my personal gift. I get in my grown age and I'm just constantly going through my phone scrolling. I see all these reels. There's like hundreds of them about Capricorns. I'm like, wait, I'm like that because I'm a Capricorn. Baby, I'm like that because I'm a Capricorn. Are you freaking kidding me? So that's why I'm bringing this topic up to ask, what do you believe about astrology? Because I believe what I believe, or I believe what's said about my zodiac. When I'm scrolling and I happen to come across something that says something like, oh, we're shy. I'm like, what Capricorn shy? See, them the one-offs. Them one-offs. We're not shy people. So don't get me wrong. Things are said about us, but they're generally not true. The one-off things, but the majority, what you see constantly flowing when you're scrolling and in the reels and stuff, I'm like, that is true, that is true, that is true, that is true, that is us, that's right, that's real, that's us, no cap. So baby, I believe in astrology, I do. And I do because I've actually dated 2 people that was more into it than I was. And so we get to talking about someone we know. And they may talk about somebody of their past or how many people. And they go, oh yeah, that's Leos. Leos are like that. I'm like, wow. I've had the experience. I know I'm a little bit all over the place. I've had the experience of knowing or hearing about a few adult Leos, okay? And then there's this newborn that comes in the world. And this personality is what it is. And you're just like, oh, okay, okay, okay. And then you tap into, wait a minute. You ain't but 2 years old, 5 years old. You 6. And you already showing signs of what grown Leos act like. That's when I believe in it. It's just so many different things that can make you a believer, like, especially when it's multiple zodiacs that are coming counterly and they all act the same way. You start being like me, becoming a believer real fast. You just start believing it because you see it so many times, right? So I tell you what, I don't, and the reason I say I'm not deep in it, I honestly can tell you. There's about, I'm just gonna say off the top of my head, then we're gonna speak them out loud. I'm gonna say it's about 4 or 5 zodiacs that I'm familiar with, and let's see how close I was to that. Before I do that, I'm gonna say one thing about me being a January Capricorn. Yes, baby, I'm a January Capricorn. I don't think I said that yet. One thing about me being a January Capricorn, for some reason, when I click with people, when I mesh with people, when our bond is just unmatched, I don't know why. It is usually a December person. They could be a Sagittarius. If their date of birth falls in December, January, or February. If my hands are dry, mind y'all business. No, y'all know the rules. Mind your business. But listen, it's something about December, January, and February babies I mesh with. And when I say that is so freaking true, I'll be talking to somebody. It could be a business phone call. It could be walking into a business and we just carry on this conversation and we're just shooting the crap back and forth with each other like we've known each other forever. And I'm like, it never fails that at some point I get caught up. I'm like, wait a minute. This connection is too crazy for us to just be this cool, this quick in 2, 5, 10, 20 minutes. What is your... And I always ask, is it okay to ask, what month were you born in? I tell you, it's been at least in my life 100 times. It's either December, January, February. I'm like, I know. So now, if I have a connection with a person, I already know that day. I already know what month they were born in. Now, let me be honest. I would say 100 times it's been those 3 months. I'd say about 3 to 5 times it's been another month. I'm like, oh my gosh, really? I'm shocked. I don't usually get that. It's been a couple of one-offs, but about 100 December, January, February. So let's see if I can get into of course, I know Capricorns. I know Capricorns. I've learned a lot about Leos. So now those characteristics, those traits, Leos, I pick up on what Leos are supposed to act like. Let me just go down my January, February. I can't really say I know much about Aquariuses, but I will say this. I have meshed, well, of course I connect with them, but I don't think there's a lot I've heard or learned about that's said about Aquarius, like how they're supposed to act, their demeanor, their personality. So it's kind of, hit or miss, but I connect with them because they're born in February. And yeah, but so I guess we could say Aquarius, but let's see, I don't even know what March is, so definitely not March babies. April, Taurus. I'm not gonna say much, but the majority of my life, Tauruses have been a bad vibe for me. Negative, diabolical, nasty energy. I've since then met Tauruses that are totally opposite of that. So you see, that's what I'm saying about this whole topic. Not every single person falls under the belief system of whatever the zodiac sign is supposed to be. Taurus is one I'm very familiar with. And if I miss them or get them out of order, it's okay because I'm not really trying to be strategic, methodical about this right now. Cancers. I know Cancers pretty well. Here we go. Gemini! No! Run! The worst zodiac. I don't care. If you're watching this video, I don't care that you may be a Gemini and offended, because obviously I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about a very personal experience. The worst I've had in my entire life. So I'm talking about what I'm talking about because I'm talking about an individual. And the individual, we're going to skip over it. I said I knew between 3 to 5 Gemini. And I actually think that's about it. I know a little bit about Leo. Well, no, Leo. So it would be 6 Leos. I've learned them. I don't know much about Pisces. I don't know much about Libras. I don't know. Yeah, see, the rest of the signs I don't know much about. So about 6 signs that I've had enough interactions, enough things I've learned, read, seen, and then I've personally up close and personal, and I'm like, yeah, I believe these what they say about this sign, it's in you. So I'm not saying I know like hundreds of people, but just I've met a person that affiliates with what people say about the Zodiac sign. But yeah, so the rest of them, I don't really know a lot. Sagittarius is, again, December, I connect with a December person. I don't care what that sign falls under. November, oh, Scorpio. I'd have to say Scorpios. I know a bunch about Scorpios. I don't really know what's before Scorpios. Like I said, Pisces. Yeah, it's quite a few. So you see how I went from I don't talk about astrology, I don't care. I was like X out. I know, to slowly learning, and then the most profound thing is, baby, to have learned what I've learned about my own personality, self in the past few years, and how strongly they relate to a freaking Zodiac sign. I'm still mind blown. And it's kind of emotional because you go through life and you may know both your parents. You may want to know who your father's side is, or you wasn't raised with neither parent. You just grow up and you just wonder things about yourself. Did I get this from my mom or my dad if I don't know who either parent is? And why am I like this? But to find out half the stuff I find out about myself, because I'm a Capricorn, I'm like, girl, you at this tender age, and you just learning these things about yourself. And I pride myself in always feeling like I'm aware. I'm self-aware and I know all about myself, which I am. But to not know it was all related to a Capricorn is mind-blowing. Anyway, I'm off this topic. Drop down in the comments and tell me, what do you feel about Zodiac signs? Are you into them? Deeply? Moderate? Minor? Not at all? Does it mean anything to you? What do you believe about it? Have you had the experiences I've had? You've had enough. You like, yeah, I believe what I believe about Zodiac signs. Drop down in the comments, y'all. Share some stuff. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned. Keep watching. I will see you all next time.